I want to see another WoW player that isn't me, of course, talking about his experience with Guild Wars 2. Apparently, he knows why WoW players don't want to play Guild Wars 2. Now, I always said that the number one reason is the game being horizontal. WoW players are so used to walking in a straight line upwards, they just, oh, big number, good. And they can't they can't make anything out of Guild Wars 2 because of that. It's really difficult to unshackle yourself from that way of thinking, but let's see what his reasoning is. I haven't watched any of this.
What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Guild Wars video. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm going to talk about Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft again in this video, and we're going to do a comparison. Again, I have a big question that I want to ask, and I want you guys to put in the comments down below is, if you were playing World of Warcraft and you're kind of tired of it,
my condolences,
like me, wink wink, then would you consider going over to Guild Wars 2? And I think that there's one enormous reason why players from WoW would not want to go over to Guild Wars 2.
Let's see.
And I'm going to give you the reason now, and then we're going to talk about some of the different systems in the two games and why I think you might not want to come over from World of Warcraft, and why we maybe haven't already seen a mass exodus of players coming over from World of Warcraft, because you would think...
Because the mass exodus happens from World of Warcraft to World of Warcraft. That's the funny part. World of Warcraft has literally 6 different versions, and WoW players are so dejected and addicted, they're constantly cycling between those. That's how it works. It's the inner cycle. It's literally Dante's Inferno, but every level is cringe.
At a time right now when I think a lot of people are very upset about the way WoW is running, I think it would make sense that they want to try other games, but there isn't necessarily a lot of people doing that, from my understanding. So the number one reason,
horizontal, say it.
Why I think you're going to want, or sorry, why World of Warcraft players would not want to come over to Guild Wars 2 is because of the progression system. It's because Guild Wars 2 is horizontal.
Oh! I haven't pre-watched. Suck it. Suck it. I told you. I'm the ultimate WoW degen brain kid. I know. Well, I called myself a kid, dude. I'm literally old and bold. But you know what I'm saying. I told you I was right. Of course. Easy. Easy. Anything to say? Anything? I told you. Pre-watched? Come on, man. Can a man have a W? Guys, I literally told you. It's so easy. Isn't that like the main difference? It doesn't matter that it's the main difference. It's the main difference for WoW players. Because people coming from FF14 may experience like a whole different reason for why Guild Wars 2 is not for them. Because FF14 and Guild Wars 2 are very similar in the way the stories are told. Now, in Guild Wars 2, technically you can just, skip to whatever expansion, but nobody really does that. Nobody, who's playing for the first time at the very least. So FF14 and Guild Wars 2 are actually very, very similar in that regard. So it might be a whole different reason for them. But for WoW players, it's specifically this. So that is kind of obvious, but yeah. You guys are jealous. You guys are jealous that my predictions are always on point.
Warcraft is
My answer is that WoW players still can dodge from red circles. Well... Fuck you.
Vertical staircase, and I'm going to explore those in a second. Let's talk about the systems that are in those games, okay? We're going to start with Mythic Plus. The Mythic Plus system in World of Warcraft is good. It's been around for a long time. You have endgame dungeons that you're farming gear. It's very good. I would argue right now it's in one of the worst places it's ever been. They have not fleshed out the system in the last 5 years. They have not expanded on it. I feel like you could include way more dungeons now into the dungeon pool. You could have like a rotating Mythic Plus challenge mode kind of thing, if you want to. Like, imagine if the pool of dungeons in WoW was like 40 or 50, but every week there was 8 of them that were like the dungeons that would get you.
Imagine if World of Warcraft was fun. Imagine. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Your rated.io score and all that kind of stuff. And then every dungeon could have its own renown track with like a bunch of like a loot, like one piece of loot that you could hunt down and get really cool transmog for that loot, like Legion artifact style skins. There's all kinds of stuff that I think Blizzard should be doing with the Mythic Plus system that they're not, but it has been a good system for like 10 years, and I'm not going to take that away from them. The same system.
Bro, no. Let's not pretend. I understand that you want to give Blizzard and World of Warcraft players some sort of a respite. Don't do that. Don't give them any solace. They don't deserve it. They didn't earn it. If you're playing retail World of Warcraft, you're stupid. If you're supporting Blizzard, you're even dumber. Stop. There is nothing good to salvage here, brother. Don't try to be on good faith with them. Don't try to be on good terms. They don't listen. They don't care. Believe me, I tried.
Exists in Guild Wars 2, which is the fractal system, of course. Now, I would say the introduction to the fractal system is horrible in this game.
Same about every single mechanic in Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 onboarding for new players is horrendous. Now, they are actively working towards changing that, and I'm glad they're starting to do that, like, 14 years later? Still, I'm happy they're doing this. But this is, like, way too late. It is. I think they lost a lot of potential players in the meantime. They should have been on it from, at the very least, I think, like, a couple of years ago. They should have been on this. But at least now they're working towards it, and they're changing their horrendous Zaitan fight. Zaitan fight probably filtered more new players than anything, honestly.
I've been trying to get my personal fractal level up. I don't understand necessarily what contributes to me getting more fractal level or less. Anytime you do fractals, people just want to do the daily fractals, these things, which is fair to those players. I'm not mad at the community. I'm just saying, like, it's really hard to understand as a new player just pugging this game what I'm supposed to do to progress quickly through the fractal system. It's not obvious. That's not good for the game. I'm telling you right now. So players who would want to come over from World of Warcraft and experience like the dungeon system here, they can do that, but getting to like the tier 4 master level takes some time and it's difficult. It's not as quickly as you could move through it in World of Warcraft. So that's a big difference. But also, the perception of Guild Wars 2 is that it's not a PvE game. I'm coming from World of Warcraft. I'm telling you, as a player, hearing about Guild Wars 2, all I really heard about was like the PvE part of it, the world versus world stuff. So the fact that there's even a fractal system with like affixes, these mistlock instabilities, these are
oh, he misspoke. He said PvE and then world versus world. Okay, he meant PvP. But yeah, Guild Wars 2 notoriously built its foundation on PvP. And then ArenaNet somewhere down the line realized that everyone just loves PvE, sorry. And they changed. Like, they literally, like, shifted their mentality. And that's good. I think that saved the game long term.
Really cool. And
he misspoke. He just, he meant to say PvP. It's okay. WoW players are like that.
I would love to go and try them, but
we do that sometimes.
I think that players coming from WoW don't know that this system really even exists. I bet you if you were to ask them, they would say
they don't, and that's ArenaNet's fault. Because ArenaNet does zero effort to publish or, to make known the systems that are actually good inside of the game. Recently, we watched the new player experience for, they made a really cool gameplay trailer for Guild Wars 2. They haven't even mentioned mounts. How can you do that? That's like the entire cool thing about Guild Wars 2. It's what they're most known for, probably. And you're not even going to make this apparent? Yeah, that weirded me out. And of course, you should have like deep dives, more into dungeons, more into fractal. Well, not into dungeons because dungeons are a dead piece of content by now, but more into like fractals and stuff because these are fun. Like, fractals are great. I'm nearing tier 4, right? I already am playing fractals tier 3. I already almost maxed out my... No, wait, I think I maxed out my agony resistance. I have full plus 9 tier sets. I just need, like, plus 11, but that's pretty much just flexing at this point. You don't really need it. But I do want it because I love fractals more than anything. It's really, really fun. So, I'm about to start, like, tier 4s. And, like, I'm excited, man. Like, I'm excited. It's fun. WoW players need to know about this, especially those who like Mythic Plus. It's really, really great, but they never flash it out. They never make it public. It's like a hidden secret, and I don't know why.
It doesn't have a Mythic Plus system. Like, I bet you that's what people would say, and unless they were told otherwise. So, does it have a system? Yes, it does. Is it similar to World of Warcraft's Mythic Plus system? Yes, it has similarities there. Do people know about it? Not necessarily, and that's a problem, I would say. But it does exist for players who would want to come over. Now, what else is there? The raid system. Raiding in World of Warcraft. Probably the best feature in the entire game. And they've had really, really good raids for a long time now. And I don't want to ever take this away from WoW. I think, like, their raids have been quite good. And you've got LFR difficulty, you have normal, heroic, mythic, so you have something for...
Yeah, this is the trash part. Nobody want to play for difficulty raids. It's garbage. They should remove it. But the raids themselves, yeah, they're obviously WoW's strongest feature. That's why the game somewhat still holds, in my opinion. Yeah, Guild Wars 3 is an amazing game, but the tutorial is somewhere somewhere in the dumpster. Exactly. And the fact that you level up lightning quick and every single level gives you a pop-up is just horrendous. It's very, very debilitating for new players, and we recently saw a new WoW player trying Guild Wars 2, and he got extremely frustrated because of it. The onboarding system needs to go. It's garbage. Yeah, they started promoting Guild Wars 2 now to get more people hyped for Guild Wars 3. Yeah, but they should have gotten people like hyped for Guild Wars 2 so people will play Guild Wars 2. There's no reason to hype up the game now for Guild Wars 3, because Guild Wars 3 is about to be completely different. So, it's like, I don't get it. But it's just really weird marketing move. ArenaNet marketing in general is just, I don't know. I think they're a bunch of AFK people just sleeping in a bunker somewhere. I don't know what they're doing. They have absolutely no idea. They're completely detached from reality. Yeah, I think they don't want people to compare between the two, Fractal and Mythic Plus. People are going to compare no matter what you do. Just make your game known. And it's also comparing is good. Competition is good. And by the way, if you're going to compare Fractals to Mythic Plus, I think Fractal win. Mythic Plus is at its worst state it's ever been. Nobody's doing Mythic Plus. Everyone pushing keys plus 10 just for the sake of getting the most powerful gear. And above that, like, nobody plays. So Fractals are still the king, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe like another WoW retail brain Andy will come here and be like, no, Mythic Plus is the best. I love Zealotaf feet. I wish he would have another toe ring. I don't care about that. In my opinion, Fractals are better. So it's like, it's good to compare.
Everybody, there is something that you can do at your speed, you know. Now there's a lot of individual jobs to do in like Mythic World of raiding content, like, you know, one person has to soak this or use their immunity over here. There's a lot of really important things you have to do, and it's a good system, but it does kind of rely on individuals to do their jobs. The raiding in Guild Wars 2, I think, is one of its best features as well, and I think that you can't take that away from this game. I think some players coming over from WoW would be surprised to learn that there is even a raiding, like a robust raiding scene inside of Guild Wars 2, but there definitely is, and I think it's very, very good. One of the best.
It is. It is. We did all the raids blind until, you know, obviously the Heart of Thorns raids, because right now I'm in Path of Fire and I don't want to spoil myself. We did all wings 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're waiting on Wing 5 in Path of Fire. It's gonna take us quite some time to reach there, but we did all of them, and I did all of them blind. Nobody told me what to do. I had to figure out all the mechanics, and I did it on challenge mode, which is this game version of Heroic. Or Mythic, however you want to, like, say it. So, very, very good. Raids are fantastic. Some of them are kind of... Listen, raids themselves, they're average if you, like, calculate them as a whole. Because raids in Guild Wars 2 kind of work differently. It's all about the bosses. You don't have ads. You don't really have that. And basically, bosses are individually rated, in my opinion. So, the good bosses of Guild Wars 2 raids, they're fantastic. Like Zera, Construct, all of these bosses, they're phenomenal. But then you have the fucking... Oh my god, how this idiot called... Who was the worst boss we did in a Heart of Thorns raid? I think it's not Deimos. Deimos is not... Deimos is not bad, it's just not really fun. It's just like super cringe boss. Who was the worst? The Sloth is extremely boring, but I wouldn't call it bad. I think still to this day, the worst one is the one with the shadows on the ground you have to step into. The one with a constant movement. The one you constantly have to spam the special action key to not get teleported to a random location. This guy's the worst. Gianna is the worst boss. Who was she? I don't even remember. Damn, I don't remember the names. This was the hot take Mursat Overseer. Mursat Overseer is just a glorified DPS chick. He is extremely easy. You just step on the blue ground, and that's pretty much it. He's very annoying. You have to dispel, you have to do all of that stuff, sure. But if everyone does their role properly, he's like just a glorified DPS check, and he's extremely easy. But he's annoying. I do agree with that. I still think the one where you have to constantly spam the action key button, he's like the worst. It's Crane, but the spam TP was the challenge mode mechanic. Yeah, it's trash. Like, listen, I'm a hardcore raider. I'm going to instantly use the most difficult portion of the raid or the most difficult version of it to compare. I think he was the worst.
Best features of the game for sure. So again, more similarities between these games than players might otherwise realize. When we talk about PvP, I think it's fair to say that Guild Wars 2 has a bit of an edge there with the world versus world system, with the reward tracks where you can like pick whatever rewards you want to get from like whatever areas you're looking to hunt down. So if you're trying to get like some transmogs and stuff from Living World Season 3 or whatever, you can go get that, which is actually a really cool way to incentivize people to do PvP, which is great. There's the ranks and the abilities that you can unlock here, which is really cool. You get permanent upgrades whenever you're doing PvP. Like that's super, super cool. This is really cool. But both games do have large scale PvP and small scale PvP. So from a player perspective, coming from WoW, I think it would be even better. The PvP would be even better in Guild Wars 2. It does have that down pat. It's probably one of its better features, right? So again, the games are very similar. If we're talking about story, this is the last thing I'm going to compare. I think the stories in both games are actually phenomenal. I think playing through the story...
He's lying. He's lying through his teeth. Nah, I mean, listen, it really just depends. Old WoW story, 100%. It's the best MMORPG story out there, or just stories in general, and it's not even close. I do agree. Guild Wars 2 story is very, very iffy. At this point, I'm in Path of Fire, and finally the story got good. We finally got a glimpse of Joko. We still need to do Living World Season 4 to fully grasp him. But finally, we reached a good part of the story. But until that part, we've struggled. We've struggled. Like, Heart of Thorns was good, but it was very, very short. And base core Tyria is straight up trash.
In World of Warcraft are some of the best storytelling I've ever heard in my life. Even between other medias like movies and television shows, like the stories, especially the ones from Shadowlands, BFA and Shadowlands. If you've never watched those cinematics, please go watch them. They're amazing.
Oh my god.
Really important characters like Jaina, Thrall, Anduin, Bane,
What?
Sylvanas, Tyrande, you know.
Bro, listen, I'm sorry for constantly pausing. This, like, don't listen to this, okay? Shadowlands story was so bad that Blizzard openly admitted it. And not only that, they've retconned it like 5 times by now. Because it was so inconsistent and didn't make any sense whatsoever. Sylvanas burning the tree made no sense. The jailer made no sense. They tried to like mask it as it was hinted at in Warcraft 3. And then a Warcraft 3 developer came out and said, no, it didn't happen. They're making this up. The jailer wasn't a thing. Nobody knew about it. Nobody cares. Like, it's not real. Blizzard is just making stuff up. As they do, always. But... yeah, the story was literally at its lowest, and the expansion, I think, was the worst. It was the worst performing expansion of all time, if I'm not mistaken about this. I think Dragonfly did slightly better than Shadowlands, but feel free to correct me on that.
No, Sourfang, so many characters that I loved. I fell in love with them. I got to watch.
Sourfang died like a little bitch to a Yasle queen who uses magic in Magora. How is that, like, good? I watched this cinematic and I cringed. It made me want to hurl. One of the best orc characters that I love the most died like nothing. Same with Bolvar, Fordragon. He was humiliated in the trailer. Bro was the Lich King and she just went to him and butchered him. It didn't make any sense. Like, how did she become so powerful? No one knows. It's garbage. It's because Sylvanas nowadays is a self-insert. It's like all of the Labubu millennials who works at Blizzard who want to insert themselves inside of the game and feel powerful over men. It's disgusting.
Their stories, and they were incredible. They were so incredible. Gave me all the feels, you know. That was really good. Some of the storytelling being done in World of Warcraft right now with like the Sunwell and Xalatath being the main villain, who I just do not care about at all.
Okay.
That frustrates me a lot because
he saved himself there.
Like, I'm not connected to the story at all. But needless to say, there has been a lot of story in World of Warcraft that's been really, really good. In Guild Wars 2, there's also some really good stories. I finished the original campaign. I don't think it was Living World. It was just the original story. The villain in the original story was great. That was really fun. And then I got into Heart of Thorns and I did all the story here. And I love those characters. Loved seeing characters come back as we got to know them in the original story and they got to persist. I think that's really important in storytelling for games. Path of Fire has been really cool. I've been really enjoying that story as well. But like, I just have loved traversing the world in the heart of Maguma, going through here, doing all the story, and then Path of Fire as well. The characters like Timey and Ritlock, like these characters that are carrying through multiple expansions, is really fun in my opinion. I love that. I love seeing that. Even in End of Dragons, I've been doing some of that, and they've been around for some of that stuff too, which has been really, really good.
Oh, whoa, whoa, no spoilers,
the latest
man.
expansion I've been doing, some of those characters are there again. So there's sort of an epic buildup with characters that you have in there, and it's really great to see that in this game because it helps you stay attached to them and build rapport. So again, all these systems that are in both these games are there, and I think that they're all actually very similar. I think they have more similarities than differences. The dungeon systems are there, the raids are there, the PvP is there, the stories are there.
Yeah, because the people who made Guild Wars 2 at first were ex-WoW developers. So, obviously, there are a lot of similarities. They learned, but they've also adapted. And that's why Guild Wars 2 takes World of Warcraft in some ways. It just completely blows it out of the water. It's little to no surprise.
They're all very similar. The biggest difference, as I said at the beginning of the video, is the way that you progress through those systems. And Guild Wars 2 has been really serious about their horizontal progression. In World of Warcraft, it is a vertical staircase. Every season, all the gear that you had from the previous season is useless now, and you're getting new gear. So you were on a little plateau, but 6 months has gone by, and now, boom, you have to go back up again. And there's 70 item levels to get, and there's new trinkets to go find. And you go do that, and then you do it for a while, and then the season kind of plateaus, and then nothing happens for a bit, and then new season comes out, and you do it again. In Guild Wars 2, you have this steady climb until you get to ascended gear, legendary gear, and then you plateau forever. You're done with your gear. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages here? Well, from a World of Warcraft point of view, you get a dopamine hit every 6 months. A new season comes out and you have to chase down all these items again, and you get a dopamine hit because your number is going up, your eye level's going up, your damage and healing are going up. So you have that dopamine hit that's there. I think it's undeniable that that's there. Whether it's healthy or not is that's the discussion we're kind of having. But in Guild Wars 2...
You're a junkie looking for his next fix. Exactly. He could have just said that. We would have understood. We would have gotten it.
You, of course, don't have the same kind of feeling every expansion or every season.
Gear is literally meaningless in Guild Wars 2. I don't know one name of any of the gear that I'm wearing. The only thing that matters is legendaries. Once you've hit Ascended, and nobody really cares, it's just Fashion Wars. The endgame of Guild Wars 2 is transmog. Everyone knows that. Everyone admit that. And that's how the game is. Now, if you're into that, great. If you're not, then this game might not be for you. And that deters a lot of players. It's really just a matter of personal preference at the end of the day. It's nothing really wrong about the game. It's just whether you like it or not.
Because what you're progressing in those seasons is horizontal stuff, permanent achievements, new skins for your glider, new ways to fly your sky scale. That's what you're progressing. You're not progressing gear in any way. The only thing that's been added, I think, more recently has been the relics, and that the relics used to be... The effects that the relics have used to be in the game beforehand anyway, so you're not really gaining anything new. It's just that it's actually a permanent slot now. So it's a matter of philosophy in terms of the way the games are made. And I think personally, I am getting really tired of chasing the carrots in World of Warcraft. I'm really tired of it. It's exhaustion now. It's gone from 10 years of dopamine hits on the staircase and loving it. I did love it, to be honest, but it's gone from that so many times in a row that I'm exhausted. And it sounds exhausting when you're every season I have to get all my gear up to Mythic again, and it's oh my gosh, I gotta farm my 8 dungeons every week to fill up the vault. I gotta farm my raid.
Checklist gaming at its finest. He's absolutely right about this. Absolutely right. But to be fair, this is a problem that is unique to retail. It did not exist in Classic. That's why people like Classic way better. That's why I'm a Classic Andy forever. I'm done with retail. I just don't want to play it ever again. Classic is the way to go, and I really hope that in Classic Plus, they would actually return to the good old ways. I don't want to see any time-gated crap. I don't want to see any, oh, a new season came out, you have to grind a brand new shiny sword. I don't want to see any of it. I want it to be like the good old days where if I got, let's say, Choker of the Fire Lord, which was a very powerful amulet for casters you got from Molten Core, the first raid, you could have held on to it until tier 5 in Encourage, or phase 5, again, however you want to say it, because that's how vertical progression is being made valuable. You farm something in Molten Core, the first raid, it's still valuable until Encourage, the phase 5, okay? Basically, like, months later, it's still valuable. And even then, it's not guaranteed that you're gonna get an upgrade. So you may hold on to that choker until Noxramis. I've seen plenty of people do it. But every piece meant something. That's why loot was so good. That's how gearing in Classic was so much fun.
Fill up the vault there, and then now I have this outdoor track with like delves. I gotta farm all that early in the season to get my best possible chance of getting the best loot, and it's like, holy cow, man, I'm just so tired of it now. And so for me personally, I'm much more attracted to the system that is in Guild Wars 2, which is this horizontal system where a new thing comes out, a new expansion comes out, like Secrets of the Obscure, for example, and now I'm on the mastery system, and I'm leveling up these
I'm not reading
masteries.
This. I don't want spoilers.
I can always go back and do the ones from old expansions too, and I can get
what? Bro, he skipped Heart of Thorns? What the fuck? Okay. Oh, it might be an old character. It might be an old character. Yeah, my bad. You're right about that. Let's see. Yeah, Relics used to be the 6-slot bonus for Ruins, but they separated it. Oh, that's good. That's a great decision. Yeah, it's also very open to new classes and create your own build. Yeah, that's great. Specifically for a sub-fee game, you feel extra bad if you don't play. I agree. That's definitely Guild Wars 2's strongest point. The moment Guild Wars 2 go sub to play, they lose every single player. I'm really glad that it's just one-time purchase and you have everything. I'm glad. It was a great decision. Masteries are account-wide. Oh, right. Masteries are account-wide. No, but maybe he has like a new new character. Maybe he has like a new ult. I know many people like to open like completely new accounts. I don't know why. It's stupid, but yeah, I know they do like doing that. I mean, he just said he played through Heart of Thorns. No way he's on Gliding too. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's like, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Really cool skins and unlock interesting rewards that are permanent that have nothing to do with player power. And to me, World of Warcraft has been missing this for a long time. This is the #1 reason why
I think he's on a different
World
account.
of Warcraft players will not come over to Guild Wars 2, in my opinion, is because they're going to miss out on the vertical dopamine.
He rushed the game. Yeah, he's a WoW player. WoW players, man, they just skipped to the ending and just wanted to give me the good stuff. Give me the good stuff. I feel him. If he actually skipped, that's kind of funny, but you should really go back and play everything. I always full max my masteries before I jump to the new expansion. I have to feel like I played the expansion to the fullest, minus crafting the legendary because that takes months, and I just continue to the next one. That's why it took me so long reaching Path of Fire.
Hit that we've been given, the carrot that we've been chasing for 10, 15 years, however long you've been playing the game.
He's a true WoW player.
They're going to miss that in Guild Wars 2 because it doesn't exist in the same way. There are small dopamine hits in Guild Wars.
Yeah, and of course, bro is playing a Willbender. Of course. It's so obvious. Not that I'm like too far behind him. I'm playing Luminary. I guess WoW players are alike, huh?
Too, I would say. Like when you're upgrading your mastery stuff, you definitely get a sense of accomplishment, a sense of progression. It's there, but it's not when it comes to gear. Specifically for your gear, you're not upgrading it every single season, making it better. So the carrot isn't quite there in the same way. So I would love to hear what you guys think about this. If you're a WoW player, would you ever consider going over to Guild Wars 2? Because the content is there. The fractals are there, the raids are there, the PvP is there, the story is definitely there, the outdoor world is abundant with stuff to do. There is stuff to do here. But what you would have to change, which I think is the hardest thing you would ever have to do as a WoW gamer, is to change your mentality to say, I am no longer interested in seasonal dopamine hits. in the same way that I got from WoW over the past 10 years. I'm going to get rid of that mentality, and I'm going to embrace a more horizontal, permanent achievement mentality.
And you know what? He's kind of wrong, but he's also very, very right. So you should abandon the mentality of World of Warcraft is the enemy of Guild Wars 2. It's not true at all. And quite contrary, you can actually play both games at the same time. I know because I'm doing it. Obviously, I'm not playing WoW. I'm kind of just, waiting for a good version of the game to come out. But I'm playing other games while playing Guild Wars 2. Because the good thing about Guild Wars 2 horizontal progression is that it's always there. You can just play it whenever you want. You can work towards crafting a legendary, let's say. Leave for like half a year even. You come back, you're at the exact same place you were before. And nothing moved, nothing changed. You can continue doing whatever you were doing. As you were doing it like 6 months ago. That's the good thing about Guild Wars 2. So a new patch comes in World of Warcraft. You kind of want to quit, play that. Great. Go do that. Come back. Guild Wars 2 will wait for you. It's okay. And that's a good thing. They're not enemies. They're friends. We're friends, guys. Isn't it a wholesome ending to the video? We're all friends. You guys love WoW players inside of your game, right?
Can you do that as a WoW player? How hard is that to do? I would argue it's very hard. Maybe the hardest thing that any WoW player could do, because they could look at another game like
it's not hard, just stop being stupid, which I guess on its own actually is very hard. So forgive me. I might have been wrong about this.
Wars 2 and say, hey, there's dungeons, there's raids, let's go do it, let's go have fun. But then they start doing it and they get their gear up to the ascended level and then they're like, oh, there's nothing to do. I'm bored. I'm leaving. Like, that's, I think, exactly what will happen. And I think that's why there's not...
Just tell them to enjoy the game. Their mind would quite literally explode. Just, it's like, I remember when I came to Guild Wars 2 and I was like, okay, I'm fully geared now. What do I do? And everyone just like, enjoy the game? I'm like, what? The fuck? Like, why would I do that? Aren't you supposed to hate the MMORPG you're playing? It just, it's very difficult to detox from the WoW mentality. It's something. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Of course I'm talking about retail, right? Obviously, classic WoW takes Guild Wars 2, like, every single time, and it's not even close. But retail, like, there's not a single reason to play retail, dog. Like, literally nothing. It's so bad.
Very many WoW players coming over to play Guild Wars 2, even though right now I think WoW is in one of the worst states that it's ever been. Personally.
Yes.
So let me know
and it has been like that for the past decade.
You think in the comments down below, please. I would love to hear what you guys think. Is this a struggle that only I'm having? Are you sick of WoW lately? Are you sick of like what's been going on in the game with more leaning towards casual players, and they haven't expanded the Mythic Plus system in like 5 years? And give me your take if you're a WoW player especially and you're thinking about maybe coming over to Guild Wars 2, because I'm telling you, I have been having so much fun with this game. I've been loving it, every minute of it. And I would encourage you guys to come over and try it out, even though you're not going to have that dopamine hit every 6 months that you're used to. I think it's still worth a shot, okay? Let me know what you think in the comments.
Such a great video. W video. I'm gonna link you guys this video so you can see it for yourself. Great guy. It's the first video I watched from him. He was absolutely right about almost everything except for calling Shadowlands and BFA story somewhat good. I think that was, I don't know, I think bro was tripping or something when he said that. But okay, we'll forgive him. Even though that might be like an incarcerable offense. I don't know if that's a real word, but he shouldn't have said that regardless. And Dropsy, I saw you wrote so many different, so many wrong things on the screen. Yeah, I paid attention to it. Clearly, he rushed through the content. If this is not like an alt account, my god, brother, like, what is this? +1 agony infusion. And, like, the runes and stuff. It's great, dude. I love that. Like, I love everything about it. Like, he's a great guy, though. Like, that was an amazing video.